Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to episode number 9 of our Let's Play series, looking at Strategic Command, World War II, War in the Pacific, the newest game out by Fury Software and Slytherin and Matrix Games. It's a turn-based, I go, you go World War II game in the Pacific Theater of Operations in World War II. In this episode, we're returning to our Let's Play series playing as the Americans, and we've had a pretty eventful last couple of turns. The beginning of a multi-month, long-term Battle of Armageddon in the Central Pacific near Eniwetok has been underway, and we've sunk a large number of Japanese ships, but they've also sunk a fair number of ours. I think we have the edge in this fight so far, and so we've been continuing to pursue it, but it's definitely something that we have been, pretty aggressively fighting, and both sides are losing heavy casualties. The enemies come in a little bit broken up. We've been kind of defeating them in detail. Interestingly enough, their technology is slightly superior to ours so far because I haven't had time to upgrade a lot of our ships to the newest tech, but we've made up for that with concentration of force, and so that's where we find ourselves. It has resulted in the Eniwetok campaign being dragged out. We haven't been able to get our troops ashore there yet, but that's a small price to pay, I think, for the destruction of the vast majority of the Japanese fleet. We also are continuing our offensive in China in the south, where we've had a pretty considerable amount of success in doing some real damage to the Japanese forces there, although overall in China, Japan is still considerably superior to us, and also they have a technical advantage over the soldiers, where they get their troops upgraded to infantry-level weapons 2, and we're at 1. That's meaningful. Meanwhile, in India/Burma, the British continue to hang on by the skin of their teeth, and in the South Pacific, the Australians and American Marines have begun an offensive toward Guadalcanal, conceived ill-advisedly? That's not a word. We have basically gone in half-cocked without sufficient logistical support, and as a result, 2 Australian corps are in the process of being starved out, while the Marines desperately try and figure out a way to bring supplies up. The Marines are not as affected by it because apparently Special Forces units don't have the same supply rules as regular infantry, and so they've been able to hang out for a bit longer. But that's where we find ourselves in 1943, episode number 9. That's enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and jump in. 4 units for them. I don't know what I should do with the Soviets. The Soviets just don't feel like a real participant in the game because they take so long to come around. I guess anti-tank would be good for our ground units. Alright. America's got 400 points. We should spend that. Alright, we'll buy a heavy cruiser. We got a lot of stuff coming. And actually quite a few carriers still that I didn't even buy. They just give them to you. So, yay. That'll be nice to replace our losses. Japan certainly won't get, at least not freely, that. I wonder what they'll do to try and, like, destroy these cut-off units. Vessels on the slot impede supplies to Guadalcanal. So close to anti-aircraft for the Americans. Industrial level 2 for Australia. Good. We need more money. We always need more money. I sure hope the Marine tanks have the same rules as the Special Forces. They may not in terms of their supply. National morale rises as Operation Bright Moon secures Indonesia. Okay, I don't know what that is. Japanese forces suffer. Okay, so they fought the Free French. They had been sort of leading them as a protectorate, I guess, but now they formally took over. Maybe I can take Hanoi from them now. Okay, we're going after that sub with their destroyer. Destroyer ran into a battleship. Probably going for the sub. And they destroyed that sub of ours, which had so much experience. Hey, the Iowa! Boom! There goes the destroyer. The Iowa just nuked a destroyer. Subs badly damage a heavy cruiser that was trying to go for our battleship, I'm assuming. And then another heavy cruiser does go for our battleship and destroys it. Okay, so they're not giving up per se in that naval engagement. That month-long war of attrition naval engagement. It's kind of silly the way the game handles that, but hey, you know. If I can starve some of those Chinese forces off, that would be great. I don't think it'll work that way. Those cities just produce... Some of those cities they've got in there just produce supplies, so... I still can't believe the Japanese aren't trying to bomb our navy. You'd think they would. Rather than continuing to pound a stalemate in Burma. Even though they've clearly got the advantage, the logistics are holding them back in Burma from breaking out into India. So, like, why wouldn't you just go for the fleet? Bomb the fleet. It's in range. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you a few turns. Oh, they're going to destroy that core. Well, I guess that's why. Okay, armored units moving against that core. We really need to get infantry level 2 for our Chinese units. They're at a considerable disadvantage when fighting the Japanese right now. Meanwhile, the Japanese on Guadalcanal working on reducing the Australian troops on their flank. The Australians have been thrown into the Japanese predicament per history. And that cavalry corps got wiped out. And paratroopers land and prevent us from cutting off those troops. Okay, I did not expect that. They used a paratrooper unit there to break out that formation that had been surrounded, the mechanized and the army. Invasion of India begins again with the advance toward Chittagong. Are they just going to keep coming? Because these carriers really need to pull back and replenish their air wings. At least the mechanized force might get destroyed. They're suffering. Mechanized force and the army, both suffering attrition. For some reason, there's naval guns in Guadalcanal. There's an assassination attempt on Jose P. Laurel in the Philippines. Okay. So we lost the battleship Nevada and the Calcott sub. Japanese lost a destroyer, though, so really just the battleship is the difference there. Meanwhile, we get the New Jersey super battleship, Bunker Hill, and a medium bomber. We'll wait to deploy that. Oh, fuck. Can these guys at least mount up? They can't. Marines here. They get another strike. Okay, good. Alright. So the armor takes Boone, or the Marines, I guess, will take Boone in. So we drop a headquarter unit in there to get supply? Yes, okay. So we will not have supply in the northern end of the islands, at least. I guess this is its own independent island, though. Fuck! We're not gonna be able to get these guys out. Does this land them? Or does this move them? Can naval forces not move past the port in here? So there's no way to do an amphibious attack on these guys? Fuck. So I guess what you really have to do is just land Marines and let their superior supply ability bail them out. Alright. Sank that Harvey cruiser here. Where are the enemy ships? Oh, there's a destroyer. Alright, so there's a destroyer in port. Carrier is either not around or not interested in providing air cover, so we destroyed that. There are 18 ships, so their fleet is attriting quickly. Destroyer destroyed. Lol. Destroyer destroyed. There's still a battleship in port there. I don't think I have a good way to get at it, though. Port attack did a little damage on it. Okay, yeah, that's a waste of time. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get that battleship in port, probably. They're down to 16 warships. I wish I had some idea of what else to do with these guys. Supply 3. Because they're sitting on transports too long? I've got not enough space on these islands. Ooh. So the supply there was 3, right? Is it going to get any better? No. So what it might make sense to do is to move some air power into Bunin and start pounding the Japanese at Kakum. I mean, their supply is bad too, but it's not non-existent. I don't particularly want to land these guys where they can't get supply. It doesn't look like moving these across these islands will push supply out further. Maybe if I get headquarters in Akira? We can try and push MacArthur up here and see if that makes a difference. I'm a little nervous because there's no port there, but there's at least supply, so he won't starve. Alright, our carrier's coming in. Got another armored cruiser coming in. British have a heavy cruiser and an army. An army is going to be nice. That should help a lot. USSR gets an IL-16 fighter plane. China gets a core. Let's wait on the Chinese core to see where we need it. I'm a little annoyed at myself getting this army killed. Alright, so by destroying those units, it looks like they solved their supply issues, mostly. What about these guys who, in theory, were cut off? Oh, they are. They're at 0 supply. Okay. Air power will go after the army. Alright, so we destroyed the 13th Japanese army here in southern China. Hallelujah. And the first mechanized. Paratroopers are low on supply, but it's probably because they just jumped. And there's the light cruiser. Alright, well, it's badly damaged while our ships continue to raid Japanese shipping in the South China Sea. Can we reduce any of these guys at all? Maybe a little. Oh, wow. The Japanese forces in Indochina don't have good supply, by the looks of it. Nearly destroyed that army there. Okay, we'll reinforce all these guys in British India. Where do we deploy that new army? It's over here. Okay. I guess the Chinese units that need support most are the ones up north. Are they going to get any supply next turn? Yes, they will. Okay. We'll just stay there on their flank then. Let's bomb their tanks with our air power. American bombers doing work. I wish I could get these guys out, but I don't see any way to do it. They won't have a zone of control to get out. Maybe if I put the new Chinese corps up. Well, no, here's what we wanted. I gotta stop forgetting this. We wanted to get these armored units out and back toward the fight so we can actually have an armored formation in China, which means we need to put the corps here. Alright, I think that about does it for everybody, right? I mean, the British stuff, I guess we could use them to harass the troops here. Let's move one of these American ships also. Is he on raid? He should be set to raid. I don't know. See, it's risky, I guess, but... Oops. I misclicked, so I guess he's gonna stay put. But if we can mess with their economy by getting ships all over their supply lines, we should probably do that. Guess we can jump on this supply line here. Battleships don't have the speed or range, I don't think, to do this well with the air power threat, but I don't know. What's the report say? If we go to graphs, we say convoys lost from enemy activity. Australia's lost 86, or Great Britain has. US has lost nothing. China 56. Australia 30. Japan 362. I wish it was more. Convoy income is way more. But who knows, maybe with all these ships along their supply lines it'll start to matter. Like, this should cut... Not, obviously, there doesn't fully cut the supply line, but Dutch East Indies route does have shipping on it. It does have transports or cruisers or whatever on it, so... And with the Japanese fleet getting weaker, 16 ships, a huge decline. I wonder if they're going to spend to try and fix that, because if we look here, their MPP losses have now exceeded their income. Their national morale has also taken a hit. As a result of this naval battle series, they've gone from 100 to about 91. The Americans, meanwhile, are at 87. You'd think the Chinese have had some nice little bumps due to taking some of these towns. British, not so happy. Alright. Research? Okay. China's maxing out its research. Who would have thought? US also maxing out its research and still having some money left over. I don't want to buy any more cores as China, frankly. I need to focus on armies. Cores are not very useful. Alright. We moved all the stuff we can for the US, so... Next turn. 12th Army suffers attrition. Yeah, we know, they're cut off. 3rd Corps. I don't know, guys, I'll try not to forget about you, but one of those Australian corps is going to die next turn. It's strongly argued by Joseph Stilwell that we provide more resources to the Chinese. Okay. A Chinese armored unit? Yeah, I'll do that. 3 MBPs, 300 for 3 turns. That's a lot. Can we get... Oh, so we got some partisan activity in China. 34 die and hundreds are injured in race riots in Detroit. No, that's not good. U.S. income's going to take a hit. Oh, it's 300 over 3 turns. Okay, so that's not as bad. So the U.S. is giving 100... for that armored unit for China. They're also giving 60 every turn over the hump for China. Right, light cruiser. Well, there's a Japanese carrier about. It'd be great if we could go get it. You know? So they sank a battleship of ours. Are they going to retreat back into the port? Probably, I guess, to avoid a counterattack. I'm trying to imagine in what world there'd be like a month, 2-month long drawn-out naval campaign around the Caroline Islands and truck where like the fleets just stay there. It's a little silly, but... See, because it did the naval stuff over by those ships of ours, but now it's going to go back to all the air units moving around in like Rangoon and Burma, maybe all the air units total. Then we'll probably go back and get more ship movements. It's a little strange. I'd rather it do by theater than unit type or movement type. Man, they got a lot of troops in Rangoon. Thank God for rough terrain, because that's the only thing saving us so far. They split our line there and moved in there. That's a little risky. I mean, I guess they do have a headquarters unit right next to them. But feels a little risky. Oh, one Australian corps down. Alright, they pushed us out of Gonzo with their paratroopers. Battleship's probably withdrawing somewhere safer. losing their huge number of cruisers, battleships, and carriers. I think that might have been the death blow for the Japanese Navy. Obviously, they can still punch. They've still got a lot of maritime power, but that might be just about it for us having to worry about them wiping our fleet out, at least. Okay. North Carolina? Say it ain't so. Intelligence tells us where their fleet carrier is. That was nice of it. Vandergrift arrives. China gets another core. Australia gets a replacement core. Good. Okay. What can we do here? Let's see if our subs can take out some of these enemy ships. Where did the battleship go? That's what I want to know. Oh, he's in port. Of course he is. Alright. Iowa, get it. Boom. Shattered. And didn't even take any damage. They did lay down at least one new ship, though, because they got a... My aviation forces are too weak. Is that just the port that did the damage? Yeah, okay. Alright, it's time to pull back. We gotta... Unless... Damn it, they can't reach. Alright, so we are gonna pull... Most of these carriers don't have enough fuel to flank speed it out of here. Anyway, we're going to pull our ships, our carriers out. Interestingly enough, our battleships are in generally good enough shape to keep fighting. And there's an enemy cruiser in port here. Okay. Well, we'll keep them in port. I'd like to take any we talk. I don't think I'll have the strength to do it this turn, but I don't think the enemy has carriers left in this general vicinity. Do we have the supply on these guys, though, to... Should be able to land next turn. Alright, so these guys have supply. Do they not? They're at 4? Huh, there's something impacting their supply. Okay. So you can get to Henderson Field. You can land directly on Henderson Field. Okay. Ooh, okay, so... MacArthur will draw supply up into Guadalcanal. Not far enough to get to the Aussies, but at least far enough that we could land troops and not starve. Okay. So maybe these guys will live a turn or two, maybe. Alright, we're going to put the Americal Division over here. They're not going to land quite yet, they'll wait. But if MacArthur can draw supply up to Guadalcanal, that is a game changer in terms of my ability to support an assault there. Also, can we could put air units there, right? Put a B-17 down here, operate out of there with pretty good supply and pound the Japanese positions. They do have anti-aircraft guns there, but, you know, what of it? Alright, let's move some cruisers around. Let's get some ships, some cover around our carriers or battleships or whatever. That enemy battleship may come out and try and play. I don't think we can really hurt these guys. Like that. Alright, let's get... I was going to say let's wait and let's upgrade our carriers and battleships because the fight looks like it's petering out, but best to just be safe and get them out that way. Meanwhile, the medium bombers will upgrade because we need their long-range capabilities now. Try and pound the Japanese defenders into oblivion here before we land. This is kind of funny because this is not really for Guadalcanal, but perhaps for New Guinea. It's kind of resembling the Brown Water Fleet of MacArthur, sort of bare-boning it here on in the Solomons while the Navy gets all the major assets with the Marines out in the Central Pacific. Obviously that wasn't true for Guadalcanal, but let's see, can we get this carrier? Because if we could get another carrier with surface vessels, that would be great. Fuck. As is to be expected, it withdrew into port. We at least did damage to it. Now the problem is if they hit us... Can we bomb their oil fields? No. He'll probably spend this turn reinforcing the carrier, I would think. But if he does decide to come out and play, that would be great. Interceptors from what, the carrier? Probably should have bombed them beforehand. Okay, we push the paratroopers back toward Fuso. Kind of expect that. They're not a army size unit. I thought they were going to get supply in here. It says 6 next turn. Now we can't even pull back. Strategic bombing targets in China is not really what I had in mind, but... Alright, we'll stay on the defensive here. Maybe we can get our army out before it gets destroyed. Okay. Why can I not do any damage against these guys? I get the terrain sucks, but still. Maybe it'll help if I destroy 1 or 2 of these headquarters units, if I can. We at least push them back. This is probably foolish. Moving those units a little bit too aggressively. Alright, so we at least crippled another Japanese carrier. 15 to 24. The British still have 7. Australia's 3, so it's 10, 34 to 15. Like, our fleet has a considerable advantage in size now. I'm guessing they have someone at Nanjing, but it would be tempting to move that way. Yeah, they got an army there. Okay. Good thing I didn't move in that way quite that far. A little bit of damage. Alright, Vandergriff. Deploy there. Australia gets their new core here. Surprised they even tried to use their land-based air against our transports or anything like that yet. Alright, we're getting ours ready to move toward we talk next turn. It is a national morale objective. Can things become, I didn't think it was before. Can things become national morale objectives if they've been fought over enough? Because that would be interesting. Anyway, Japan's morale is at 90%. The British need to buy some stuff. Let's replace the core they just lost. Aussies don't get to replace the corps they lost? Oh, that's not fun. China does have the ability to raise an army now, so we'll do that. Light cruiser. Lol. Artillery would be nice, but I can't do that. So hold off on that. US doesn't have that much money. We'll hold off there, I think. Unless there's any R&D we wanted. We have a little bit of R&D bandwidth. Already researching maxed out on heavy bombers. Naval weaponry. I guess ground attack or anti-aircraft could be useful. China's still maxed out. Alright, I'll probably do one more turn and then wrap it up. 12th Army suffers attrition losses. That's to be expected. 3rd Corps as well. Victory at Kursk raises Soviet morale. Good for you guys. Vessels in the slot continue to impede the flow of supplies. General Swatorsky is killed in a plane crash. Allied forces land in Sicily. Richard Nixon is assigned to a Marine Air Unit in the South Pacific. Logistics level 3 for the U.S. Okay. I'm curious to see if they really pull back the... Really? They're gonna... Okay. Their battleship's gonna try and attack our carrier, a surface engagement. I'm guessing they have enough movement points to pull back. I'm guessing. That heavy cruiser is going to reinforce in any we talk, which if we can manage to take that island, then it'll be a sitting duck. Land-based units against a naval unit in port, the naval unit basically scuttles or gets destroyed easily. Okay, we'll move that army south. Oh, wow. Okay. So they moved that army south and then got it wiped out our cavalry division. Meanwhile, they're going to probably destroy this other army here near Shima. Unless the troops have some sense to withdraw, but apparently not. That is a communist national morale objective. They will presumably take that. So we lost a division and an army so far on the Chinese front. A bad day for them. We can't sustain losses like that. Maybe we've sort of kind of pocketed an army and a division in Rangoon. Might be able to make up for that a little bit. They moved their paratrooper unit, so it didn't reinforce. They didn't move it into Fuso, though, so I'm guessing they have something already there. A lot of repositioning of units in China. Japan transfers former Thai territory in Malaya to Thailand. So it changes borders. I don't know what else that changes. Maybe some economics. Port defenses fire on the Allies outside Singapore. Oh, geez. Those are big guns. I guess they probably kept the carrier in port. In Indochina, because I didn't see... Heavy tanks now available for the U.S. More medium bombers and an Oakland light cruiser. I didn't see anything about it moving. So, yep, it's still there. It reinforced. USS Houston's still alive and kicking. Good for it. Kind of tempted to keep the light cruiser on the convoy route. Alright, their battleship's down here. We got subs. Let's go get it. It'll probably retreat into port right away, right? Not right away. Maybe it can't? Got him! Another Japanese capital ship to the bottom. Escort carrier doing work. Alright, let's see what we can do against this land unit. Not even gonna bother with the heavy cruiser in port. Okay. Now we're going to pull these carriers with the crippled air wings back to Pearl. Oh, I don't know. I was bombing. They had an air wing strength of 1. I thought it was stronger than that. Anyway, we're going to hurt their readiness and skills, so... Okay. Can the Iowa do anything? No. Alright, well these ships are all going to start pulling back. Like I said, we've got to get these guys into port. I think the Japanese are going to stop coming. I don't know what else they have left to come with either. They're at 14 ships. They've got 1 in port here, the 1 fleet carrier elsewhere. It doesn't leave them a lot of leeway. I'm pretty certain they still have more destroyers, because... At least that's the impression I got. Alright, let's operate these medium bombers. I don't think they go anywhere in range, so... You know, maybe we don't operate them quite yet. Maybe we... Well... Bougainville. We put 1 there, right? Supply situation's not great. Maybe it'll get better. Okay, so we will have 1 supply for the Australians who are cut off. Pennsylvania aircraft carrier, yes, because you're bombing anti-aircraft guns. Hey, they just did some damage to the actual troops there. Okay. I'd like to get that Marine unit ashore, or that tank unit back into the fight. Anyway, so these guys are going to have... six and 3. So these are not good numbers to launch an attack with, but they are numbers. Can they really not get on? How much do they have to build that facility up for them to handle troops? Okay. They can do convoy mode? Oh. Land bombers can be raiders too. Good to know. I wonder if they can hit... Oh, they can definitely hit from here, right? So these two guys should have good supply to bomb these units. If I won't be able to hit them with land units effectively, maybe I can hit them with air units. Alright, what about China? What's going on here? Let's see. Oh yeah, they are reinforced a lot down out near Fuzhou. Alright, we've been going for almost an hour now, so this is as good of a spot as any to wrap this up. We've got another force ashore at Guadalcanal. We've pushed a headquarters unit up to try and get the troops there back into supply. Meanwhile, we've advanced further up the Solomon Islands and take Bunin on Bougainville. So we've had a good amount of success in the Solomon Island chain, sort of putting a firm grip on the southernmost advance of the Japanese. Meanwhile, that naval battle has gone pretty well for us so far. We've lost a lot of shipping, but Japan's lost way more. What we were at, like 26 ships. I think we're at like 24, 23 now, and they went from 29 to 15 or 16 or so. So they've lost a huge percentage of their fleet. We do know they have at least one fleet carrier somewhere else. I don't know if they've got the Yamato somewhere else. I think we already sank the Musashi, or maybe it was vice versa. But we'll have to keep that in mind. But that'll do it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your thoughts below as always. And until next time, we'll pick this up. This is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.